Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today let's see about control statements. So control statements are used to control the flow of execution of the program. This execution order depends on the supplied data values and the conditional logic. Java contains the following types of control statements, like selection statements, repetition statements, also called as looping statements, or branching statements, or jump statements. So these are similar to same as C. Similar to C, the base conditional statement, that is in selection statements we have if else and if else ladder, else if and all, right? So those and all, in Java also we can see those statements. So let us see if statement first. So this will control statements or execute a single statement or a block of code when the given condition is true, and if false then it will skip. If block and reset code for the program is rest of the code is executed. So for example, in the syntax, if you see if condition and we write a statement, what happens, if the condition is met then only this line executes, otherwise this block won't be executed, it will skip. So let us write a small code on a bonus, salary bonus. Like if the salary is between 0 to 10,000, then he will get a bonus of 30%. Above 10,000, he will get a salary of 60%. Okay. So what you can do, basically I will use command line arguments. That means while executing only will be the values. So in that way we'll see how to do it. So oops, command prompt. So notebook Java. So it is already actually explained in the previous video how to give the command line arguments the same way. So I'll just not writing the entire thing like salary and all. I'm just let you know how it works. So int a, so a is suppose let us take it as, so that we can understand. So salary, so b is bonus. Okay, so salary is taken and bonus we need to calculate, right? So I'm just, so how you know, right? This will take the command values from the command prompt by using this statement integer dot parse int brackets arg. So as you can see, string arg. So args is an array, that's why we have a square brackets here. So this is args is an array. Array elements will start from 0. So args 0. This is the value, and it will be taken by this. But you can see it is string. So whatever the value we give, it will taken as string. So we need to typecast. Okay. So to do that, we will use this. When you try to convert from string to other type, we'll use this integer dot parseInt or float dot parse float, like that. Okay. So integer, I should be capital, dot parse, here also I should be capital. So integer dot parse int arg 0. So that value will be taken. Sorry, yeah. The value from like the value we give will be taken by this statement, and it will be converted into integer by using this line. That value will be stored in s. So now, okay, so now what we'll do, we'll just see if the condition we need to write, right? So if s is less than or equals to 10,000, so you know, right, if it is a single line statement or if a single line code, we don't need to write any you don't need to keep any flower brackets. You write, that's okay. So in C also it's same thing. So if you want, you can keep, otherwise you can leave it. So let's b is equals to salary into 30%, 30 by 100, that is the bonus. Okay, so if it is this one way, and either you can use else also, but in the else statement I will tell you in the other example. For now I am using only if to do this condition, like do this, like to solve the situation. Okay, so why we go for else also you can understand when you do this. Else, sorry, if salary is greater than 10,000, we'll just bonus is equals to salary into 60%, so 60 by 100. Okay, so we got the bonus. So now what we know, what we need, gross. So I'll just take gross as G. So G is equals to salary plus bonus. So that I'll just print the gross. Okay, save. And just to run it, we need to type javac space the file name dot java. So it will compile now. So if any errors, it will show. If not, there is an error here. So variable b is not. It's okay. I think, yeah, it's mentioned. Variables might not have been initialized. Okay. So there might be there is a problem here because as this b is in the conditional statement, right? So what happens, until this statement executes, this will not be assigned to anything. So for those we need to compulsory assign some value. I am just assigning 0. If not, you can also give all this s and g also, you can give it initialize it to 0. So it is better to give, but not mandatory because they are outside the if statements, if conditional statements, right? So that's it. These are all has been assigned after the condition statement, after or before, but not within this conditional statements. So that's why it is showing an error. So now say JavaC. Yeah, there's an error, and now what we need to type, java space BBP. That's it. Oh yeah, because why it's showing an error, because I have to pass the values, okay, in the command line. So command line arguments, right? So what I need to do, java space, I need to give the value also space. Suppose I will give a value like 12,000, or just I'll give 10,000. Let's see how much to print. Wrong name, baby. Why? Oh, sorry. The class name is capitals, right? I'm so sorry. Java space so that's why we need to give the same. I'll do the same thing here also. It should match. Okay. Okay, it's like same, right? Okay. Wait, I think I done mistake. The file name is also caps only. Okay. Java space. So was 10,000. See 30%, right? So for example, if I give more than that, some 15,000, so it will take 60% and it will add. So this is the total amount. Okay, now going to the next topic. If else statement, if condition and else statement. So if so what happens, instead of writing this writing if 2 times, here we can directly write else. So what happens, if this condition is not satisfied, then it will directly go to this. Okay, that's all. Basically this will also help us if suppose if there are many conditions. Okay, there are many if statements. What happens, it will be like you have to write many as like you need to write many a times, okay, the conditions. So if in this case, if there are two conditions and they are actually what happening, one is greater than one is from 0 to 10,000 and other is about 10,000, that's it, right? Only two things, so we can use else instead of writing again one if statement and giving the condition. So instead of that I have given else and just solved it. So actually I think I have given a wrong file, but it is taking, even if I given smaller caps it is taking. So it's compiled successfully. So if I press, so yeah, it's work, and this also it is work. Okay, now coming to, yeah, this is if else. Now if the if else if ladder, so else if ladder is like if they have many state more than two conditions, then we'll go to else if ladder. Okay, it's like if the for example, see, if it is from 0 to 2,20,000 or from this range to this range to, so multiple ranges, so then we'll go for else if ladder. It's the same thing. What we'll do is, if we'll write a condition and write a statement, like for example in this example what he do, so the same, this class and public static void main are all will be same for every code, so we are not focusing on it, we are only focusing in the middle part. Okay, so int income is equals to integer dot parseInt arg0, so it will take the value from the command line and it will stores in the income. Now I am just taking the tax is equal to 0 because they are inside the if conditions there, so that's why I am initializing it before only. And then now when I enter a value in the command line, there's some value that is less than or equal to 2,20,000, then the tax, there is no tax. If I enter a value less than or equals to 50,000, I will be having a tax of this much. Okay, there is some calculation of the some like normal some that it is defined. Okay, so as the tax is calculated like income minus the amount that is a previous range, okay, till how much it, into 10%. Okay, so everywhere it is there like income. Yeah, so how they are calculating the tax is basically, if we have a tax, for example if your salary is about within this range, how they will do is, first they will do the they will do the amount of this range. For example, what is the range of this values, we'll get some value, right? So that value into this, what is the percent that is allocated, plus income minus the highest range into 20%. Okay, so for, sorry, I mean the for this, that means what you need to do, we need to add all the previous also, previous amount also we need to add. Like for example, if our salary ranges in between this, we need to consider this. Anyways this is 0%, we'll neglect that. We need to consider this 10% and also we need to consider this also 20%. So for that 10%, how they did is only for this range. That means 5 lakhs minus 2,20,000 into 10% plus income minus 50%, means 5 lakhs into 20%. So for example, if it is 30%, how we will do? For first we need to go to this, like 5 lakhs minus 2,20,000 into 10% plus 10 lakhs minus 5 lakhs, that means this range, into 20% plus income minus 10 lakhs into 30%. So the total sum is the tax. So here how they are doing, how they are performing is else. So if we are taking a condition that is from 0 to, instead of, actually you can also write like this if you want to write more accurate, like 0 to 2,20,000, right? So if income is equal income less so income greater than or equals to 0 and and boolean, okay, and income less than or equals to 5 lakhs or less than or equals to some less than or equals to 2 lakhs 20,000. So like that also you can write. We are not going for that much. We are just taking, if we are assuming that we are entering a value that is greater than 0, okay, means a positive integer only, because it's money, right? And then else, if here we are not mentioning the upper range because already we have mentioned it here, 2 lakh, these are all continuous data, continuous ranges, okay. So that's why. So if for example if the salaries we entered is 2 lakhs 20,000, it automatically comes to this statement and execute and skips all this. It won't check again, okay, because it's satisfied here. So if it is not satisfied and the salary is around some 4 lakhs, so what happens, first it will check, it will fail, and then it will go to here, it will, if it passes, then it will just skip all these lines. So after that, after all the calculation, like choosing the proper statement, it will calculate the tax and then it will give the output, okay. So when you enter the salary, it will, this system.out.println will show the output, how much tax you need to pay for that particular salary. Now switch statement. So switch statements is also similar, is as similar as C only. In switch you need there are few we will see these operators, okay, like branching statements or the jumping statements. So one of the jumping statement is break. We use that in the switch statements. So this is an easier implementation of the if-else statement. The keyword switch is followed by an expression that should evaluates to byte, short, char, or in primitive data types. Only in a switch block there can only one or more labeled cases. The expression that creates labels for the case must be unique. The switch expression is matched with each case label. Only the match case is executed. If no case matches, then default statement is executed. So how it works is basically it's like if-else if statement. So inside there is called switch, and we'll give an expression. In this expression, for example, I will take suppose A, okay, and this here case there is a value, for example 1, case 2, case 3, like that. So if the value we are giving A is equals to, suppose we are giving the input as A is equal to 2, so that A has value 2, so it will check in which case value it matches. So if it is 2, and it will execute this statement. Not for only numbers, it will also for example case A, case B, like that. If you wrote, then I have given A is equal to B, that means case B, it will execute in that block, execute, and will write a break statement. So if you don't write this break until the case where, for example, if I didn't write break here, and or sorry, I didn't write break here in this first case, okay, and for example it is case A and the given value is also A, so case A will execute, and there is, since there is no break, the next case will also executes, okay. So block 1 and block 2 both will execute, so that's why we need to give break. So if you give break, enter switch case will be stopped. When the case matches, only that particular block will execute and come out of the case statement. So for this, here we can see we need to print seasons. So just what we can do is, yeah, since we have to take the number set, so that's why we'll just keep the same thing, season number. So S1 I'll keep, I'll just remove all this. So switch okay, switch inside brackets I'll write S. So yeah, one more thing I forgot. So there is a default, okay. If suppose I have given here case 1, case 2, case 3 and default are there, okay. I give a number case 5 that is not present in, doesn't matches with the case values of any case, then what happens, by default it will go to this default clock, and it will run inside. So we can write anything like a warning statement and warning or note, so it doesn't matches or an invalid input, like that we can write that. Okay, next, print season of the given month. For this we have 12 months, right? So 11, 12, 1, 2 is winter season, so we need to give like that. So what we can do is, for that, case 11 colon, so syntax will be switch in brackets the parameter that we are going to pass, okay, or you need to find s, and inside the brackets we'll write cases. So case 11, since what happens your case, if your month is 11, 12, 1 and 2 also it is winter, right? So no need to write case 11 winter, case 12 winter, no need to write. So if you write like this, case 11, case 12, case 1, case 2, and at the end if you write the thing, so whatever the value, if it is 11, 12, 1, 2 matches, it will run directly, it will print this. Why? Because there is no break statement here. For example, if I write case 11 and write break, so what happen, if I enter 11, it will just come out of the switch statement. So that's why if I don't write break, until here I wrote break, that's why whatever the number it matches or the value it matches, all this will execute and it will print season winter. Okay, so case 12, case 1, case okay, case 2. Now what I'll do, system dot out dot println, so I'll just write winter double. Okay, so in the same way, this is for winter, and the same way if you do it for, okay, I need to write break. Okay, don't forget. So it's a similar code, I just copy and paste 3, 4, 5. Remember, it's not mandatory that it should be like same order or same all numbers continuously should present. It doesn't matter. You can write any value. So what the main thing is, it should match the given input. If it doesn't matches to the values of case values, it will go directly go to default. Next, therefore is so first this is winter. So this is sun and this is rainy. So after this I'll write a default statement, default system dot so what I'll do, invalid. Okay, just save this, just try run, we'll just run this. Yeah, it's okay. Just yeah, there is an error of case. Okay, bye. Duplicate case name. Yes. Yeah, actually I think I did, and there is no mistake. I just wrote the code again. Worked fine. Maybe I think there is something like default or something. I didn't got it, but I just wrote the code again and it worked fine for me. So this is how we can write a multiple case statement. We can also do it single one also. I'll show you an example, a bit complicated one, where we can see nested switch case also. Okay, I'll just write the code and I'll explain. Okay, so this is an example where if you give an input, it will tell you that the day is a weekend or a weekday. So just I have directly taken the input. Okay, just I am taking days 2. Let's see what it will do. So string day type and string day string. Okay, string in the sense it will tell that Monday, Tuesday, like the date type means whether it is a weekend or weekday. Okay, so here the switch day, inside it we have case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, case 7, because 7 days, right? So 7 cases. So what happens? So case 1 day string Monday and break Tuesday, like that. If you choose at 2, that means it will go to this case now, and it will come to here again. Here also we have mentioned day only, right? So what happens? So if you enter 2, so the day 2 will be taken by this switch and also by this switch. So in this switch will execute and will get Tuesday, and again if you choose 2 here, it will go and check whether it is weekend or weekday, because only the 6 and 7 are 6 and 7 are Saturday and Sunday. Those are the weekends, right? So that's why I wrote case 6 and case 7 as weekend, and switch to day 2, that is Thursday. Okay, so system dot out dot print day string, that is Tuesday, right? Tuesday is a weekday. Okay, that will be printed here. Let's run this. So basically you can see there are 2 switch. This type of switch is called normal switch, where individually will write a statement, and here it is a multiple case without a break statement. So we can cover both 2 types in the same example. Okay, so this one, and yeah, so Tuesday is a weekday. So okay, I think it's time up. So for this video we'll wind up here. In the next video we'll see about I think it's yeah, repetition or looping statements. Okay, so this chapter deals with that only up to the first point, that is selection statements. Okay, in the next video we'll see the repetition statements. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.